We just watched a video learning about the rainbow colors, or ROYGBV. So this is a little chart just to remember. ROYGBV is the abbreviation. R stands for red, O stands for orange, Y stands for yellow, G stands for green, B stands for blue, and let me just get that into the camera. The V stands for violet. So we are going to be using these colors to paint a picture today. And in the picture we will have a rainbow with these colors in ROYGBV order. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. And then in front of it, we're going to do a fun little pineapple using shapes, using our elements of art. So we're going to be using shapes to make our drawing and a variety of lines. So when we get our papers, we're going to, of course, put our first and last names at the top, and then your group number, which you circle, and then put your table number next to it. Once you have done that, we're going to start off. This is what our picture is going to look like. It's on the back board. So we've got a fun little pineapple, and we're going to use a fun little pattern here. And we're going to be using all of our ROYGBV colors, including a rainbow in the background in ROYGBV border. So the first thing we're going to do is do our pineapple. And what we're going to do when we paint, we've got these dry paint palettes, okay, which we need to get wet. And we've got our water and a brush. So we dip our brush in the water. And with wet paint, we don't want our brush dry, but with this, it's dry, so we need it wet. So I'm going to bring over the brush dripping wet, and maybe I'll dip one more time and bring over some water and swirl it in my yellow. And once I get that yellow wet, it's now paint, right? And I'm going to swirl maybe 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to go to the middle of my paper, and I'm going to paint, taking up maybe like your whole hand size, maybe a little bigger than your hand. So it's going to be pretty big. Hold on, let me focus this a little. Well, it's a little blurry, but okay, there, good. So it's going to be bigger than my hand, taking up a big portion of the page, most of the page, okay? I'm going to do basically like a rectangle. So short on the top, short on the bottom, long on the sides, but instead of a sharp corner, we're going to do a rounded corner. So we're going to kind of curve the corner. So it's kind of in between an oval and a rectangle. And we're going to do it in yellow. So once we have our big rounded rectangle, I'm going to go back, dip back in my water, bring it over to my paint, swirl, swirl, swirl. Every time that I go into my paint, I have to get more water on my brush. So, and then I'm just going to color this in. I'm going to spread it around because I don't want pools of water. I want it to be really spread out. Get more water, get more paint, come back, and kind of try and spread this paint as far as it will go. We really don't want lots of water sitting on the page because then it won't dry for the next part. Okay, so once I have it all painted yellow, we're going to move on to the next part, which is the top of the pineapple. So first we're going to wash our brush. When we wash our brush, we dip it in the water and we swirl it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for about 10 seconds. If you want, you can count. And then we're ready to take that water and move it over to our green. Remember, it should be dripping wet. Take it again. Swirl now 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we're going to do the spiky top. So for this, we're just going to put our brush down and do a curved line. And then we're going to put it down and curve the other way. Then we're going to put it down above that and do another one, and then one more. I'm going to go back, get a little more paint, and make that a little darker. Okay, so if I want to really make it look like there's a shadow, I'm going to now take that green, clean my brush, and get some blue, and the blue will act as my shadow color. So I'm going to swirl maybe 5 times on the blue, and I'm going to come to the bottom of the pineapple leaf while it's still wet and just put a little bit of blue, not covering up the whole leaf, just on the bottom. Do you see how I still see green? So I didn't press down really hard so that the whole thing is blue. I pressed down just a little, just so we get a little blue line. And then I can wash my brush. Now we are going to do, let's make the base a little bigger. Just right where it meets the pineapple. It should be a little thicker. There we go. Now we're going to do the rainbow. So what was ROYGBV order again? What color do I do first? Red. So I clean my brush, clean, and I go get some red. Now this is going to be a little tricky. What we're going to do is we're going to go behind our pineapple with our rainbow. So it's going to curve, but when it hits this, we stop, because the rainbow doesn't go in front of the pineapple, it's going to go in behind the pineapple. So we're not going to see the rainbow, it's going to disappear, and then it will come back out on the other side. So watch as I do it. I set down my brush, and all the way down, kind of pressing hard, and then when I get to this, I lift up, and I don't start back until the other side. So do you see how I didn't paint over it? I stopped. Then I'm going to wash my brush, and I'm going to get, what's the next one in ROYGBV? So R-O, what does O stand for? Orange. So I'm going to get some orange, swirl some water on there, press all the way down right next to it underneath the red, and I'm going to stop when we hit the pineapple leaf and start back at the other side. Then I'm going to wash my brush. What's the next color? So the Y in ROYGBV is yellow. So press all the way down underneath that orange. I'm going to stop when I hit my green leaf and start back on the other side. So now ROYG, the G is for green. So green goes under the yellow, and I'm going to stop when I hit my pineapple and start back on the other side. Now BIV, B is for blue. B goes underneath the green. And finally V for violet. And if you don't have enough water or paint, you can go get some more. Alright, so now that we've done our rainbow, I think our pineapple is dried enough to add a little pineapple pattern on there. So we're just going to get some orange, and we're going to start down at the bottom, and we're going to do a diagonal line. A diagonal line goes at an angle, so it's not up and down, it's not side to side, it's at an angle. And we're going to go all the way across. So I'm going to start down here and just go from one end of the pineapple to the next. And then I'm going to go up and do another one, go up and do another one, go up and do another one, go up and another one, all the way across my pineapple using diagonal lines. And then I'm going to get more water on my brush, go back to the orange, get more orange on my brush, and we're going to do the same thing but going the other way, so all the way down this way. So I'm going to start here and go across, start here and go across, start here and go across, until my pineapple has a little cross pattern on it. Okay, so now that we have that, we're gonna wait a second before we do the pineapple face because we want that orange to dry. So we're gonna move down, and now this is the fun part. You get to decide what you want your pineapple sitting on. So on mine, I have him sitting on some sand and then the beach. There's an ocean or water there. But if you want to do grass, you could do that with flowers around it. If you wanted to do snow, you could do that. So paint not on the pineapple, but you can paint whatever ground that you want right now the pineapple to be sitting on. I'm going to do grass on this one. I did water on the other one. This one I'm going to do grass. I'm just going to get some green, and first I'm going to kind of do the bottom just solid green, and then on the top I'll add a few little pieces. So first I'm just going to get my green, get water, swirl, 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 and go across. And now that I have that down, I'm going to come and do maybe the grass goes a little bit above and touches the pineapple a little bit. All right, so now we are ready for our pineapple face. I'm going to wash my brush, get some black on my brush, and then I'm going to go to the bottom of my pineapple. If you see these little squares, I'm going 2.5 up. So 1 square, 2 square, and then go to the cross in the next one. And I'm going to do a circle here and a circle over here. And those are going to be my little pineapple eyes. And then I'm going to do a little mouth down below. And it's going to kind of curve. It's going to be kind of like an oval, but it dips down right here. Okay. Now, I'm going to clean my brush really well. Really, really well. And then I'm going to go get a little bit of white. Just a tiny bit of white. And I'm going to add a little white dot. If your black is still really, really wet, what's going to happen, what just happened for me is it just bled into it, so you don't see it. So we might wait a little bit until it's dry. If you want, you can go get a little red, or maybe mix red with white and make a little pink and do a little tongue, and maybe get a little more pink and do a little rosy cheeks. And then you gotta add whatever you want. If you want to add a sun up top, if you want to add clouds, if you want to add birds or flowers, you guys get to decide.